Now, we'd also want to hear your views. Are you willing or ready to pay more to enjoy quality electricity and water? Well, my colleague Kojo Brace is joining us from Obrasport, and he'll be sharing some of your views with us. Hello, Kojo.
Are utility companies for increment in utility tariffs. We're asking, are Ghanaians willing to pay more for utility, looking at the experiences now? I've had one young man here to share his thought with me. Chief, thank you very much for agreeing to speak to us. If the ECG or water company ask you to pay more in tariff, how willing are you to pay?
If they're asking us to pay more, are they also willing to give us supply every day? I mean, that's my question. If they are asking us to pay more, then they should also be willing to supply us with water and constant electricity every day. Because now, Trotro is always increasing. E-levy too has come on top, and things are getting harder. I know it's globally, but then looking at internally, the government should have also done something to help Ghanaians with, and we are not getting anything out of it. So if they say they are increasing electricity, I shouldn't see doom so in my home.
So you whilst you're paying more for it, they should ensure that there's constant supply.
Doom so in my home at all. At all. North Kaneshi should not see doom so provided I'm still living there. You see, so some of these things, Ghanaians, most of the time you want to talk, but you're into me. But if the government is willing to increase, then it should be willing to supply. Because Sikano say, oh, Gia, oh, J, the papa. Oh, boy, you should know, says Sikana Odoma or the young Quine Debbie Amawano. But oh, the man and I say, Obi trip Vietnam then I don't see the reasons why I should still pay more. Maybe I mean I'm a jeans, but I don't know who else would think like that. You get it? But Ghanaians to be a part of this whole thing that the government is doing. Ghana for Yamboa buying Yashi. Every Ghana for 18 years, Obi sorry, I buy. It looks like we can't do anything on our own.
So you think that we demand too much of government?
Yeah. We demand too much of government. Government is doing its part. America now is what's an uncle for almost the government did its part, and the ordinary citizen also did its part. They say, you can't say, yeah. You can't say, then let's all pay and just move forward. At the end of the day, this 11 thing that is making this whole noise, just give it about 2 weeks. It will die out. People are paying. I'm telling you, people are paying. People are not even afraid of paying e-levy. People are paying. You see, that few numbers shouldn't discourage other people from making the government do what he has to do. Government, decide whatever it is that they decided, he would do it.
Okay. So you feel government shouldn't subsidize more for us for utility, but we should pay, even only if we are guaranteed of constant supply.
My only worry is if we are guaranteed of constant light and water supply. Bam, I'm done.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm grateful for your thought in joining us this morning. All right, so let's try and get more people's thoughts here. Chief, thanks for agreeing to speak to us. What is your thought about the proposal from ECG that we should pay more in tariffs?
I'm just thinking that we pay more in tariffs is going to cause an average Ghanaian to lose some kind of money, because an average Ghanaian earning a salary less than 2,000 Ghana cedis, 3,000 can't pay those. Even now, people are finding it very difficult to pay their light bills and water bill. So I'll believe the government, if the government can also do something about it to maintain or not to increase anything, so that, because we are also suffering. The e-levy just came and we are suffering because we pay e-levy day in and day out, on every transaction that you make, 100 cedis and above, and it's affecting an average Ghanaian. So if government brings this up, it's going to cost a lot. It's going to cost.
So you feel there shouldn't be an increment in tariff?
Yes, for now there shouldn't be an increment, because for last week, lorry fare is going to increase. Is it 20% and 30%? And the economy is very hard for Ghanaians now, so they should relax on this one. Yes, they should relax on that one.
But if they say pay more and let's serve you better, you don't think you have to agree to that you have to agree to the better services from them, and so we have to pay more?
Okay, if they are going to provide us with better services, then it's good, because how sure are we that they are going to provide us with better services? We are not sure. They can put off the light at any time, so we are not sure. We know this ECG and these people. We are not sure.
And your water company, they say provide us more. Let's supply you water on daily basis. You won't agree to that because you need water to live.
Yes, I need water. So if they are going to stick to their promise and they are going to do what Ghanaians want, this is what we are looking at the needs of Ghanaians, not the government. Yeah. They're supposed to see the needs of Ghanaians and how they can provide it for the Ghanaians to be able to feel comfortable in the country. Because if it becomes very difficult, I mean, a lot of things are going to crash up. Yes, a lot of things are going to crash up.
Thank you very much. So we are still on the streets trying to get your thought on the issues that border on our everyday lives. Today we are talking about utility tariff. Chief, thank you so much. What do you make of proposals that we should pay more for utility, ECG and water, for example?
Please, can I speak to you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe say the proposal be about say increase utility tariffs in Manama. Even our demands nankasa is very high. Now already on many more in that. And he say bibi for flow on the increase yen you can say utilities ana bibia ebe bo modwumana abani yen fa ho ba say osan the bed ni be kan yen etimamufo no ho a eyo how this year transport fares akọ high yen salary ye tia na eti ye brepa nti ye pa mocho omunye we be my.
So he is basically saying that things are hard for the ordinary Ghanaian, and therefore if there is any other alternative for the companies to raise revenue, they should, than burdening the ordinary Ghanaian with increment in tariffs. Thank you so much, sir. Now let's get a thought of another Ghanaian, a young lady, of course. Thank you for agreeing to speak to us. What do you make of the proposal that pay more in utility tariff and we would also serve you better from Ghana Water Company and ECG?
Please speak.
Okay. Almost yentia, ECG and the Ghana Water. Bisa say Ghana for yentia bills no. Among man in Kosoro kakra mahe. Na ma almost when skadi aye adwuma no mo. Yana bisa say odwen ho sen.
Me dey me try say nyane kwan so no because omo increase in dada. I don't know brother than see I didn't see no better increase bill. Who here? Yeah, bread.
So light bill cost ro a mreguma kama nti almost the cost of amode manage o madwuma no cost ro nti no omo hia sika no bebre no mo de ahia adwuma no nti o say ya ye use no ye tua mo onye ntum sa
Debbie I say tua mo I don't know prepaid and I use so okota in fact so 50 cedis 1 week rambana asa enti ejuma kese use light say hairdressers na ya depan for no ye to light more than na say ye to aha enti ye ntumi ma omo fa bi so mo de be kan wa ye de ye wa hanom ye ni bi be kan bad ye mpese omo de be kan ho ye mpekra ehu hia
eventually omutuma obeden.
Well, ye be wo musa ye nim bebe be ko na me kasa ha ya na ye wo Ghana ya na ye te ni bebe akọ nti se omutuma fine ye wo omantum nso a ye be fa ni sa.
So basically what she's also saying is that I mean things are hard and already people pay higher tariffs for utilities. For example, people like hairdressers, which of course she's one, they pay more in electricity price tariffs, and so they feel that if you increase it again, it would overburden them. Already they are burdened. So if you do that, you are compounding their problems. And that's why she is requesting that if it's possible, that increment in tariff should not take place. But she says, well, if it happens, they have no choice. They will be here. But things will be difficult for them. Thank you so much, ma. So we are still on the street trying to get the thought of more Ghanaians. Let me try and get the thought of this young lady. Okay. So what do you make of the request for increment in tariffs? Join us on our social media platforms and share your thought with us for Ghana and the world to know what you are also thinking about this proposal. Let me try and get a thought of this young man here. Chief, I just a minute. Okay. Once I swerve this, let me get a thought of this young lady. Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're well.
I'm fine.
The utility companies, water, electricity, are requesting for Ghanaians to pay more in tariffs. What do you make of it?
Well, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea, but looking at the current situations we are having, it wouldn't be appropriate now. Maybe when we have more factories operating, we have more employment, then we can think about that.
But they also say, well, we need money to run so that we can provide you with constant supply.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, we can't.
Yeah, but where are you sourcing the money from? It's from the work we do. So if we don't have work, then how do we get money to pay? Yeah, so I think the government on the other hand can also provide more employment, more revenue generating businesses for people to get more revenue and then in turn pay these tariffs. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let's get more people and their thought here. Chief, thank you so much. What do you make of proposals to increase tariff? Water, electricity?
Telling your brother that what is going on right now, I don't know where we are going forward or we are coming back. We are government workers. Even when you go for pension self, to get your pension beneficiary is hardly for you. You work a lot before you get it. So what is doing, to me, I don't like it. It should come down, cry. Because now, excuse me to say, I'm a 100% MPP member. I get my card. But what is going on now? I'm fed up. I say I'll remove myself from there.
But when it comes to utility, electricity and water, they say that if you don't pay us, we cannot provide you with constant supply.
Master, why can you once every month, excuse me to say, you are living in someone's room or someone's house and you are not paying electricity, the owner won't quit you from there. Or if you are not paying water bill, where are you going to get water to use? Because you have a wife and children, how can you do? There's nothing you can do. Yeah.
So
right. So that was Samuel Kojo Brace out there, close by, Obras Sport, and getting the thoughts of some people. Bernice, interesting perspectives that are being shared.
Exactly. The lady who spoke before this gentleman who says he's no longer a member of the NPP.
Nanuhiam.
Yeah. She says, well, I don't mind, but it's not appropriate now because, look, we can't deny the times that we are in. But
it feeds into everything that we're talking about. It's not that we are not aware that there needs to be some increment, especially as, we're having a discussion even while Samuel was on air, that we're changing the dynamics, our energy mix. Hydro is no longer sustainable. We have to find alternative and more green means, more environmentally friendly means. But at the same time, as we look at the cost component of that, you must look at the purchasing power parity of your people. You must look at their pockets. You must look at the state. And with everything we've faced, and with the impact COVID sometimes we underestimate in terms of job losses. Even the hoteliers, that industry, the damage it has done. You look at the Russia-Ukraine situation and how, well, in a way, it has affected some prices. You look at the commodities, fuel and all of that. You can't overlook that and slap people with hefty tariffs at the same time, because people are already reeling under the effect of all of these.
But the utility providers have always argued that this is what we do, and they keep reeling under debt. Okay, so every time you're trying to subsidize, every time you're trying to say, oh, it's on the high side, don't forget that, look, we are talking about fuel here, and we all know how much fuel costs now. You're talking about the CD stability or performance against the dollar, and all these things affect these companies.
Then government should pay public sector workers better. Averagely, how many of them even make up to 1,800 cedis? It's a paucity of them. And yet about 7%, the state-owned enterprise leaders and all of that, Article 71 office holders, get the chunk of, the pie. That is our national cake. So you look at it and you ask yourself, if you want to do that, then up how much you pay public sector workers. But we also know that even when you look at the component in a national budget, what goes into paying public sector workers, it is unsustainable to say you're going to up it. If you can't up the ante there, you shouldn't expect that those same public sector workers, look, with 1,800 cedis, forget having a family. Let's assume you just have an alachabi that you are using, but an alacha would even draw more fuel. If you are working, let's say you are coming from where? Adenta to, let's say, Central Accra every day, in and out, on 1,800 cedis. Take out rent, take out utilities, take out feeding. Look, yesterday I was interacting with someone who was telling me that now, believe it or not, a single tomato in some instances goes for 2 cedis. I mean, how do you expect the people to make do? Then you would be saying that people should literally go and steal. You get it? So those are the dynamics. And while it is true, look, from the standpoint of the VRA, the NEDCO, ECG, Ghana Water Company Limited, fair deal. We must pay for better. But sometimes even the state, look at the GNPC, the state goes in there, digs into these state-owned enterprises' coffers, and then we are left bleeding for what we did not really do. I mean, something we may not even have seen real benefits for. Those are part of the problems. When you are stifling the activities of these, handicapping them, and then how many state agencies are indebted to the ECG and the Ghana Water Company Limited? Let's deal with those issues.
Interesting, but let me just mention that, but the ECG has recommended that there should be a determination between PURC and itself to have non-residential and commercial customers pay a lower tariff. So if you run a company or a business and you're worried that this may affect your business, then, I mean, we just need to put in there that there is some consideration to have lower tariffs for non-residential and commercial customers. But the question again is, how is our country mapped? Do you have industries and companies in specific locations, so you're serving them, or you have specific meters for them? Well,
but there's just one topper for me. I'm just happy that this is not like the GRTCC situation. The transport unions have said that actually we can unilaterally do this, and this time we didn't want government, because we knew that they would be invited, and then they would tell us this and tell us that. So unilaterally we've done it. In this instance, at least, the Ghana Water Company Limited, ECG, have to go through the PURC process. And yes,
they're private. I think they just do that because they want to, make it easier for everybody. But really, do they have to consult government? That's the question. Well, you're watching the AM show with Bernice and Benjamin, and water is life. Water regulates your body temperature and keeps you alive and kicking. Awake is premium purified water treated through strict purification process to ensure that every bottle on the market refreshes you better. We have the perfect size for every occasion, 330 and 500 ml bottles to fit your pockets and bags, 750 ml for the heavy drinkers. And if you're like Benjamin, you prefer the 1.5 liters for those of you who want more. We have also introduced our special 19-liter jars for offices and homes. Now you just need to stay awake with Awake Purified Drinking Water wherever you go. Come on, grab a bottle of Awake Water and get quality hydration. Awake Purified Drinking Water, one for life. Remember, for every bottle you purchase, an amount is donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center, produced by Casapreco. For bulk purchase, contact 026 2351 251, 026 2351 251. We'll take a quick breather here. When we come back, we'll be talking about practical science education in our schools and how it affects the output of our science students. To stay.